Thank you, Kenya Red Cross, for all that you have done and tirelessly continue to do towards making life better and saving lives.
In 2012, the Kenya Red Cross Society entered its second year of the implementation of its strategy based on the balanced scorecard and the 3 pillars of operational excellence, investing in our people, and building a strong national society. This was also the year that the organization completed its exercise of re-engineering.
From the regions and the branches, there was cascading of the strategy. There were 3 key pillars: investing in our people. A lot of efforts were made to ensure that all the staff were aligned. There was matching of people with the skills to ensure that then the implementation of strategy is clearly understood by everyone. There were major steps also to ensure that our structures, particularly at branch level, did not just stand alone. They had to be aligned to the county authorities. With regards to operational excellence, reviewing our systems, a lot of efforts were also put together across the board by both departments, programs, and including support services.
In the same year, the Kenya Red Cross Society experienced remarkable growth in the quality of programming. The Society ensured an integrated approach in project implementation that saw it reach out to more than 6 million beneficiaries with quality services in disaster management, health, water and sanitation, and nutrition, amongst other thematic areas.
Over the last few years, we have had a nudge or a shift towards integrated programming. And this is as a result of the realization that most of these communities in which we work have myriads of challenges. They have challenges in food production, in nutrition, in water and sanitation, as well as in facing many disasters, floods, droughts, and oftentimes conflict situations. So we have, from our practice and from experience, decided that we need to integrate our programming more in order to be more responsive to the needs of these communities in a holistic manner. The results of some of those decisions are being felt today as we're trying to look at increasing food production, increasing investments, basically tackling those issues that are the foundational issues around poverty, the root causes of poverty. Lack of food, lack of equipment to produce the food, lack of knowledge to grow the food and to store the food, and the infrastructure, irrigation infrastructure.
In addition, the Society continued to skew its programming towards food security vis-à-vis food aid, with the aim of building stronger communities that would cope better with subsequent emergencies, if any.
They've been part of Kenyans for Kenya. We came through, and the trust and the confidence they gave us and the money they gave us is what we're trying to now show that actually it is possible and can be done in this country. The country can be transformed. Drought, no drought, this country can feed itself, and pastoralist community can still have their animal ways of life, but can also equally do farming, and farming that will sustain them and sustain also their animals.
Zamani tulikuwa na mifugo na hizo mifugo ikaisha, na sasa tukaanza kutengeneza kampuni ya kutengeneza shamba. Tukaweka mashamba, sasa kukua mzuri, mashida ikatoka. Sasa ndizi sasa iko sawa, sasa ile mashida zote zikatolewa.
In the same year, the Kenya Red Cross Disaster Management Department embarked on a transformation journey of promoting community resilience, informed by the Great Drought of 2011. This saw the Society initiate 24 food security projects in parts of the arid and semi-arid areas of the country that included East Pokot, Turkana, Moyale and Mwingi. A key achievement in this integrated approach was the transformation of 60 acres of dry desert land in Moyale into fertile farmland under the 2011 Kenyans for Kenya Drought Initiative, resulting into a bumper harvest in kales, watermelon, butternut and capsicum amongst other crops.
Sisi wakati tulipewa hizi shamba hatukuamini ya kwamba hii shamba itafaulu. Hii miradi tumetengenezewa ni ya kutusaidia.
Ni kwamba wakati umefika, tumekuwa uhuru kwa miaka zaidi karibu 50. Ni wakati wa sisi wenyewe sasa kujitegemea.
Further, the Disaster Management Department upscaled the greenhouse technology for youth in and out of school and for special groups countrywide.
This Red Cross imetusaidia sana na mimea ya tomatoes. Tunaendelea na kupata manufacture yake na inatusaidia kwa kuuza na kupata pesa. Kama mwanafunzi ninafurahia kwa maana hii pesa tunapeleka katika akaunti ya shule yetu ya Sekuru Primary School.
In addition to the mid and long-term projects as part of early response, the Kenya Red Cross Society supported school feeding programs, reaching out to at least 290,000 school-going children, leading to a registered 35% increase of enrollment in Wajir, Garissa, Mandera and Marsabit districts. In the year under review, the Health Department focused more on the use of innovative ways of reaching beneficiaries with basic healthcare services. The use of mobile phone technologies was thus adopted for easier and timely service delivery to target populations.
Health Department focused so much on trying to look for more innovative ways of reaching out to the beneficiaries that we have been reaching for a number of years now. And also another interesting thing that the department did in 2012 was embracing technology to ensure improved access to services. And here we've been looking at rolling out use of mobile phone technology to be able to reach out to mothers, to remind them to go for ANC visits, to remind them to be able to go and get their children vaccinated. And we're actually looking at even scaling this further in the year 2013. So 2012 acted as a year where we were able to see the usefulness of this mobile technology, and we are looking at rolling it over and rolling it out fully in 2013.
The department also embraced the community strategy in line with government policies aimed at reaching targeted beneficiaries in hard-to-reach areas. Through strategic partnerships that included the Ministry of Health, the department significantly contributed to the provision of accessible, equitable and affordable community-based healthcare. A focus on curative, preventive, promotive and rehabilitative healthcare was also woven into the health programs.
Of the harm reduction program, it also encompasses the needle exchange program, and since there's that danger of you becoming an addict and also become HIV positive, I think those are two crosses to carry, and they're not easy. So this time around, I can take care of myself, and I can be there for somebody else, and that's what I'm doing up to now.
Further, the Health Department, in collaboration with the Kenyan National Blood Transfusion Services, successfully contributed to the mobilization of safe blood, which came in handy during several disasters and emergencies countrywide. Under the HIV/AIDS program, the department collaborated with other partners in ensuring reduction of the scourge as well as empowering affected people economically through income-generating activities.
To what they've helped me, help my community in this area. Very many people in this area have accepted themselves. Normally when we go for home visits, the community doesn't know my status. So if you have a case in the village, they call upon me to go and talk to the person who's low.
Siku hiyo nilikuwa nyumbani na nilikuwa mgonjwa sana. Sasa sikuwa najikubali ati mimi ni HIV. Sasa nilipopeleka hospitali nikapimwa, nikaambiwa, lakini nikawaambia wasiambie mama yangu. Sasa Tena vile niliporudishwa hospitali ndio nilikubali kuambia mama yangu. Tangu siku hiyo mpaka saa hii wamenifanyia vitu vizuri sana, nimejua mpaka nimeendelea, hata watoto nimewapata wakiwa negative.
Orphans and vulnerable children both out and in schools were also supported through peer education and economic empowerment.
Since my childhood, life has not been going so easy. As in, sometimes there were times that food was not enough. There were some times that we missed, as in people missed a meal in the family, and everything is a big problem. At times you would even think doing suicide was much more better, for life was not even doing any good to you. But I had a steady heart, knowing that one time, something good will come out of this life. That's when the Kenya Red Cross assisted my mother with some capital. She started up a new business, held my shoulder up and my head up high, because I know everything will come in place. For starting the capital, Mom now has a new business. She's thriving in the business and the business is doing well. Now she has a source of income. We are eating a basic diet. We have access to proper health facilities. Everything is now going smoothly.
In general, the health department was able to reach out to more than 3 million beneficiaries in 2012. In another development, in mid-2012, nutrition was fully embraced as a standalone department in the Kenya Red Cross programming to complement other programs towards the realization of a holistic, integrated food security approach.
Nutrition basically started as a department in 2012, mid-2012, and I think it is after the realization and the response that the society undertook in 2011 following the Horn of Africa crisis, where the levels of acute malnutrition were at an all-time high and above 38%, which really WHO standards classifies as being very serious, a catastrophe if you want to call it that way. And so, I think the leadership of the society reflected and realized that it was unacceptable to intervene at such a late point in time when children's lives were so severely affected, and decided to start up a unit specifically addressing nutrition issues, which I think was very timely, because I believe the Red Cross has the network and has the capability to really take nutrition to another level, particularly when we're discussing resilience. With our volunteer network, we are really able to do early warning. We're a community-based grassroots organization, and so we're able to really see problems when they start arising, and that's when we can do early action.
Kofi Annan, former UN Secretary General, once said, "We shall not finally defeat AIDS, TB, malaria, or any other infectious disease that plagues the developing world until we have also won the battle of safe drinking water." In that context, the Watson department enhanced its role of ensuring easy access to safe drinking water for vulnerable communities in most parts of the country. The department took a paradigm from implementation of standalone projects and embraced more integrated projects that saw communities' resilience strengthened through the use of innovative and economic technologies.
Interesting here, because what we did is we did the traditional water and sanitation programming, and we did a paradigm shift to go into food security, in relation to the drought that we faced in 2011. That's one of the examples. We did a pipeline in Totkolao that had knock-on effects. It brought these two communities, the Marakwets and the Pokots, in a historic ceremony together to have peace treaty between themselves. And now that water is going to be used for agriculture for 250 acres in Tot and 250 acres in Koloa. We did boreholes that are now attached to solar power. So today from solar they are pumping water that are going straight to farms that the people of Turkana today are farming on. In Detu, we did, again, farms with very deep boreholes, but on solar energy. on a combination of solar and diesel energy.
In the same year, the Organizational Development Department continued to strengthen regional and branch capacities and also enhance the recognition of the role played by the Society's volunteers.
2012 was really on the issue of volunteer management. You know, that was the year that we reviewed our volunteer policies. That was the year that we developed volunteer management guidelines for the first time. We developed a volunteer merit award scheme for the first time.
Far from its usual programming, the Kenya Red Cross, as a principal recipient of the Global Fund for Non-State Actors Round 10, entered its second year of program implementation. A monitoring and evaluation check by donors and other implementing partners revealed that the implementation has so far been a success.
The areas of focus are basically expanding services to, HIV testing and counseling, expanding also services to most at-risk populations, and we're also looking at cutting the transmission of HIV from mother to child. So basically those are the areas of focus for the program.
I think being a first-time principal recipient, the Red Cross is doing a fantastic job. I think what we have seen here, where after operating only for one semester, that is almost a 6-month period, you have managed to achieve 100% and in some cases beyond 100% targets. I think this is really a good job.
The National Society also for the second year continued to successfully provide humanitarian assistance to at least 88,000 refugees at the IFO2 East and West refugee camps. The year also saw the Society's refugee operations complete a maternity hospital, improved health and sanitation, as well as increased ambulance services. Being a year that preceded the 2013 general elections, the Society, which responded to several ethno-political conflicts countrywide in 2012, put in place a contingency plan to ensure peace before, during and after the general elections and to stay prepared as a first responder.
2012 was a busy year for the National Society because already there were tensions in many parts of the country, including actually conflict, places like Moyale, in Tana River, and the Society was engaged in responding to this. I think being a pre-election year also, we were also busy then preparing, trying to ensure then that the capacity of the staff and volunteers was enhanced. Kenya Red Cross, of course, has been designated as a first responder, and therefore we had to look at what are the scenarios, and looking at the history in the country. Of course, the issue of every time we have an election, then it was always preceded by some pre-election violence and sometimes even election violence. When we looked at 1997, 2002, 2007, then we realized that there was need to actually prepare ourselves for any eventuality. Looking at even issues of prepositioning of stock out in our regions and other smaller hubs to ensure then that in case of any eventuality there was stock which could then be quickly accessed to be able to respond.
Despite the heavy load in programming in 2012 due to numerous man-made and natural disasters, the Society continued to invest in properties for sustainability purposes through its chain of Boma hotels, the E+ ambulances, the logistics center and training school, amongst other resource mobilization initiatives. In 2012, the E+ Ambulance Company continued to strike a balance between corporate social responsibility and services to its clients using its 33 ambulances and 23 base stations countrywide, with proceeds being ploughed back into the humanitarian work of the Kenya Red Cross.
We started providing our service in Nairobi, but we have since grown into to all the provinces and all the leading urban centers. We're in Mombasa, we're in Kisumu, we're in Nakuru, we're in Nyeri, to name but a few. So the future of E+ is very bright. As it becomes more and more embedded in the Kenyan society, it has become a necessity. It's no longer a luxury.
The Boma chain of hotels also continued to expand, with the Boma Nairobi launching its soft opening in October 2012 and the construction of the Boma Eldoret progressing on well.
Thank you very, very much for accepting to be our first guests. This place has always been a building, but a building without guests can never be given any other name. Now today that you have come, it changes from the name of a building to a hotel. Thank you very much.
As a result of excellence in disaster management through different programs countrywide, the Kenya Red Cross received recognition from external partners both locally and internationally. The Society was also awarded with Super Brand status for the year 2012. As we put the year behind us and strive for greater heights in 2013, the Society is grateful to our ever-ready volunteers and our partners, without whose help the Society would not have made such strides.
Over the last 5 years, and I see the development of and the capacity to respond of the Kenya Red Cross, it has increased a lot, and I think that we could partner partially to it and strengthen this capacity. And I think today everybody recognizes that if there is a problem in Kenya, whatever it is, Kenya Red Cross has the capacity to rapidly and timely respond to whatever the needs are, and that we could partner and use this capacity and support this capacity has, I think, benefited many people, either in a crisis or in an ongoing, let's say, challenges to their livelihood or to their health. So I think it has been a very fruitful and effective partnership.
Know for sure that the Red Cross for a long time has been reacting to situations, but now we are very happy that there has been an innovation where they do long-term projects and especially integrated irrigation.
Say congratulations to them. And continue to give help to them, because the fact that they are getting that far shows we have put our money into a thing which is worth growing.
On our part, we remain committed to our motto of first in and last out, and true to our value proposition of being always there.
Thank you, Kenya Red Cross, for all that you have done and tirelessly continue to do towards making life better and saving lives. You embrace the humanitarian spirit in every sense. We know, we recognize, we respect you.
Asante sana Kenya Red Cross kwa yote mnayotutendea. Mmejitolea kwa dhati kuokoa na kuimarisha maisha ya Wakenya. Naijua, naitambua, naiheshimu.
Buya muno Red Cross asokonya mukuru wa society. Toko basabera mogendrene nkore yoyo yogokonya.
Erokamano Kenya Red Cross.